So again, I, Anjum Bhatti Nirban, welcomes you to join the class of English Literature. As you all know, students, we have completed our question answers of lesson 3. Today we are going to start a book exercise which is about rhyming words. It is an interesting topic, so listen it carefully, okay? Read these lines aloud. The wonderful air is over me, and the wonderful wind is shaking the tree. It walks on the water and wills the miles and talks to itself on the tops of the hill. Now, did you notice how the words at the end of the lines rhyme with each other? First, I would like to tell you what is rhyming. Rhyming words that have same sounds. Now, students, find the same sounds over here. Me, tree. Same sounds. Meals and heels. Okay, they are same sounds. So two sounds are same, and these two sounds are same. Okay, so these are rhyming words. The word me rhymes with tree. The word meals rhyme with heels. Okay, a rhyme scheme is the order in which the rhyming lines are arranged in a poem. Okay, it is usually used in a poem. It is often used in poetry to provide a sense of rhyme to the verses. Okay, so class, now let's read more about it. We can tell the rhyming pattern of a poem by this method. Firstly, we write an A in the right margin of the first line and mark the second line A also if it rhymes with the first line. Okay, I'm explaining to you again. As you can see over here, me and tree. So in first line we'll mark it A. Okay, second line we'll mark it B. Wait, okay, B. But there is same sound. So we'll make it A sound. Okay, me or tree same has will make it A sound. And then meals and heels will make it B sound. Okay, class? So the second line is marked B. It doesn't rhyme with the first line. Similarly, any line which rhymes with the line marked B will also be marked B. Okay, as I have told you, if the similar sound, so we'll make it A mark, and if the second line is not similar with the first line, so we'll make it B mark. Okay, so the rhyming scheme of the stanza given above is A, B. So हमें जो ऊपर वाली जो rhyming scheme है वो क्या मिली है A and B. Okay. Now there is a question related to it. Can you list all the rhyming words pairs in the poem? Also add 2 rhyming words of your own to each pair. Now I'm going to show you the answer of this. Yeah, and I have choose this from our poem also. Okay. So here you can see the rhyming words. Okay. Year, fear, blessed, best, trampoline, scene, heat, beat, throwing, rowing, fearless, court, sport, soccer, walker. Okay, so class यहाँ क्या था सेम साउंड्स थे तो ये सेम साउंड्स क्या कहलाते हैं rhyming words. Now class, this exercise you have to do in your notebook. Second question is, look at these stanzas and choose the correct rhyming scheme. Now we need to find rhyming scheme according to A, B. Okay, we need to find out first. Then we'll write over there which kind of rhyming scheme is there. Over the oaks, gigantic form, blossom hang their drapery, benches that defeat the storm now are full of melody. Now we need to find only the word which have same sound. So you can see over here form and strong. Okay, form and strong. So form and strong are A sound. Okay, drapery and melody are B sound. Okay, so the rhyming scheme is A B. Second is, wait, come forth, my bonding soul, join the universal glee. Yield the nature's kind control, catch her heavenly harmony. Now here, A sound is related to, first the word is soul, and in third line you can see that control, the same words. Okay, so the sound, the scheme is A scheme. Okay, and second line is, the last word is glee, and the fourth line, the last word is harmony. So again, the rhyming scheme is A B. Now look at the third stanza. So now it is vain for the singer to burst into clamor with the great black piano appreciate the glamour. of childish day is upon me, my manhood is cast down in the flood. Remembrance, I weep like a child for the past. Now here you can see glamour and glamour. Both are same in first two lines. So AA sound, cast and past are, we'll call that B scheme. Okay, so rhyming scheme is AA, B. I hope this exercise is clear to you all. Now the next exercise is related to noun. Okay class, read it. You have already learned that a noun is a word that identifies a person, a thing, a place or an idea. Read these sentences. The world is a wonderful place. The man went up the hills. In these sentences, the highlighted words are example of nouns. Read these sentences. He took his pet to a vet. I met my aunt at the post office. The highlighted words in these sentences are common noun. अब जैसे आप देख सकते हैं common noun, proper noun और बहुत सारे kinds होते हैं noun के, तो we'll find out which is the common noun, which is proper noun, which is abstract, collective. Okay, so pet is common noun. Aunt is also common noun. A noun that names a person, animal, place or thing in general is called a common noun. Means common names are called common nouns. Aunt is common name, pet is also a common name. Now read it. He took Minnie, his pet kitten, to a vet. I met Kiran at the post office. Now highlighted words are proper noun. Why they are proper noun? Because they are particular name, Minnie and Kiran. Okay, and they are also begins with capital letter. So a noun that names a particular person, place, animal or thing is called a proper noun. And very most important thing here is it always begin with a capital letter. As you can see over there, Minnie and Kiran. Now next is the team was training for the competition. The chest of drawers has been painted brown. So here brown. So here the highlighted word in these sentences are collective noun. And what are collective noun? Group of words are called collective nouns. So a noun that stands for a group of people, animals or things is called collective noun. In short way we can say group of people are called, group of things are called collective noun. Now read these sentences. Happiness can be found in the darkest of the places too. We must always pick the truth. So the highlighted word, these sentences are abstract noun. What abstract noun are? The noun which we can't see but we can feel them. Okay. So I'm defining it. A noun that refers to a quality, a thought or an idea is called an abstract noun. As you can see over there, happiness and truth are abstract noun. Next is the books have arrived at the bookshop. He kept a pencil in the box. In these sentences, you can see they are countable nouns. And what are countable nouns? A noun that can be counted is called countable noun. Okay, we usually write a or n before a singular countable noun. And what is a or n? A or n are the part of articles. Okay, read these sentences. Would you like to have some coffee? I heard the good news when I reached school. Now here you can see here that the coffee and news we cannot count them. Okay, they are uncountable now. The highlighted word in these sentences are uncountable nouns. And the define of uncountable nouns just opposite to the countable noun. A noun that cannot be counted is called uncountable noun. And uncountable noun is always singular. Okay, countable तो plural हो सकता है, but uncountable क्या होता है? Singular होता है. So now we are going to start do our activity, our exercise of work. So first exercise is underline the noun in these sentences, state whether they are common, proper, collective or abstract nouns. So I hope you got it. What we need to do? We need to find out whether the noun, whether the line, whether the word is common, proper, collective or abstract. Okay, first is honesty is virtue. So here honesty. Honesty पर आप underline करेंगे because honesty is a noun and the noun is abstract noun. So write over there abstract noun. So for abstract we will write AB. The army was destroyed in the fires attack. So army, we got here army. Army is a noun and it is collective noun. So for collective noun, we'll write over there C. The Aravallis are situated in Western India. So here the noun is Western India. Because it is the student, it is begin with W capital letter and ends with full stop. So it is proper noun. The fleet got scattered in the violent storm. So here fleet. Fleet is a collective noun. India's population is the second highest in the world. So here India's population. The sentence is talking about only population. India's population. So population is collective noun. So write over there C. Okay. The troop applauded when Uday Shankar came on stage. So here the troop. Okay, troop is also a group of people, so it is collective noun. C. Next sentence is I saw a flock of sheep in the valley. So here flock. Group of sheep को क्या कहेंगे हम? Flock कहेंगे. Okay. So it is also a collective noun. So we'll write over there C. Shakespeare is one of the greatest dramatists in the world. So Shakespeare is a proper noun. Okay class, so we have completed this activity and the second exercise is circle the countable noun and underline the uncountable noun in these sentences. Now you need to circle the countable noun and underline the uncountable noun. Would you like to have some milk before you go to bed? Now first what we need to do? We need to find out over here noun and then we mark them whether they are countable or uncountable. So in very first line there is a milk and it is uncountable, so we underline it. Second, Geeta always has rice for lunch. Rice is also uncountable noun, so we underline it. The trees caught fire because of the dry weather. Here tree, we circle it because it is countable noun. All the dogs in the street started barking at the same time. So dogs, a countable noun. Mother poured some oil into the saucepan. Oil is uncountable noun, so we'll underline it. Tina kept the storybooks on the table. Here storybooks are the countable noun, so we circle it. Next sentence is the furniture is durable. So here furniture is uncountable noun. Okay. So we'll underline it. Rehan filled his cart with apples and oranges at the supermarket. So here apples and oranges both are the countable nouns. So we'll circle them. Okay. So we have completed this exercise. Our next exercise and the last exercise of this chapter is fill in the blanks with noun as indicated. I have a dash, but I don't know how to use it. So we need to mention here any common noun. So scanner, SCANNER. I have a scanner, but I don't know how to use it. Though dash I not her mother tongue, she can speak it fluently. Proper noun. So though Hindi is not her mother tongue, she can speak it fluently. So it is proper noun. We'll write it capital letter because it is a proper noun. Okay. Next sentence is the auditorium was packed with an excited dash collective noun. So crowd. Next is all the villagers applauded the girl for her abstract noun means bravery. Bravery is an abstract noun. I have misplaced the entire dash of books. Entire dash of books or collective noun. Pile of book. P-I-L-E. So here we added common noun as scanner, Hindi as proper noun, crowd as collective noun, bravery as abstract noun, and pile as collective noun. So here we have completed our lesson 3's book exercise. I hope these exercises are clear to you all. Do practice at home. Okay class, bye-bye.